So we're here with the Nanooks head coach Dallas Ferguson as we get back to practice here in the Carlson Center in the friendly confines of Fairbanks. We get set 3 solid weeks out of 4 on the road with a bye week there in the middle of the start of the school semester, but playing Wisconsin this past weekend. Where's the team at coming back home?
Yeah, you know what? I thought that the Wisconsin series, I mean, it was obviously disappointing not coming away with the win because I felt like we played some pretty good hockey down there, and I think that it was a competitive series. I thought they were real physical. I think that you know, I liked the pushback that our team had, and some resiliency as they kept going through there. And you know what? It just seemed like one turned into 3 real quick in the third period there, and we you know, had some chances you know, throughout the course of the game and just weren't able to capitalize on them. And I think, you know, ultimately, you know, that was the difference. They made a couple plays in the third period and put it in the back of the net, and you know, we had equal chances, but we just weren't able to get it back there. So you know, there were some positives definitely to pull out of it, and obviously getting back home here now and focused on the WCHA is you know, where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it was 2 solid, well played games by both teams. I mean, I think the score it doesn't really indicate, I think, how competitive it was. You look at Friday, it was a little bit more open play, but into Saturday's game, you know, it started out, it was 1-0 going into the third period, then all of a sudden things open up a bit. You get 4 goals in 4 minutes. Yeah. And especially kind of a response from especially like the freshman sophomore classes on the Nanooks team, especially after losing a player like Tyler Morley.
Yeah, you know, we lost Tyler earlier in the game, and you know, that was, you know, sometimes as our staff we were sitting there evaluating our team and, you know, where we were at, but you know what, the guys really pushed hard, you know, and you know, going into the third period, you know, it was a 20-minute hockey game, and you know, they scored in the first power play, and that was kind of like what we talked about the night before. We were talking about, like, let's get this kill, let's get the next goal, and then we'll go from there. And you know, obviously they made a real nice play on the back door, you know, through our penalty kill, and you know, but then again we respond 2 shifts later with our own goal, so it's still 2-2. But you know, when you get into those swings, when it was, you know, it's kind of a little bit back and forth and pucks are going in the net, sometimes you know, your focus on some of the details can go away. But I thought our team, you know, again pushed back through it, and you know, again, I think it just got down to they made a couple plays and in the end and finished on them, and we weren't able to do that. But you know, we got lots to build on, and we got some younger guys that are coming along, and I really liked how they dug in.
Yeah, in the first few minutes of both games, Friday and Saturday, you know, the Nanooks, I think, honestly dominated the score sheet, and I guess the score doesn't indicate that much well either. But you know, in the third period, like I said, a 1-0 game on Saturday, 2 shifts in, I think 51 seconds in, John Mullally puts it in the back of the net and ties it up, and it's a brand new hockey game at that point.
Yeah, no, it is. That's what the game's about. It's on momentum swings, and you know, obviously goal shifts right after goals, whether you score one or give one up, are real important. And generally, what you find is, you know, it's not always, but a lot of times when it rains, it pours. So when you get one, usually a second one's coming, a third one's coming. You know, so you have to be ready for those swings, and or to, you know, get them going in your direction. So sometimes you do that with, you know, scoring goals. Sometimes you do that with hardworking shifts, and you know, create some, you know, offensive zone time and some momentum through that. But definitely a big part of the game and the competitiveness to be able to handle those momentum swings.
Yeah, well, non-conference series though, I mean, it's sort of an unfamiliar opponent, Wisconsin. You played them last year with a win at the Kendall Classic in Anchorage. Yeah. You go on the road and play them 2 games at the Kohl Center in Madison there. But coming back this weekend, now we're back into conference play. You have 3 out of your last 4 series now at home. A very familiar opponent in Ferris State is scheduling to tie them twice on the road in Big Rapids earlier this season. What do you see from the Bulldogs coming into Carlson Center this week?
Well, I mean, the 2 games down there, I mean, it's kind of a pretty large gap in between the 2 games, but you know, they're a team that really sticks to their systems, and I think that's what creates such a, you know, consistent performances from them. So there's not a big gap in between their highs and their lows, which makes them a good team, and they've been like that for years. And so it's credit to their coaching and obviously the plan they put together and getting their players to play it. And I think that you know, again, those games down there a while ago, but I think it was kind of a similar matchup between the Nanooks and the Bulldogs, where it was competitive, and you know, we scored with an extra attacker to tie it, and you know, then they had some chances in overtime. But you know, I expected, you're getting down to the wire here, so I think the series are going to get more competitive, and everybody's you know, fighting for every point they can here. And you know, some teams are in different situations, but everybody's trying to finish as high as they can in the standings and get themselves ready for playoffs. So it's that time of year. It's fun, it's exciting, and you know, we've got you know, like I say, 8 games left here of the regular season, and you know, they're against all real good opponents, and then obviously finish with our biggest rival, Anchorage, for the Governor's Cup, and ultimately could come down to, you know, getting into the playoffs, home ice, whatever it may be. So it's going to be an exciting finish here.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the top teams are pulling away a little bit from the standings, but certainly the next 6 Nanooks included, are right there in it.
Yep.
Everything from, I think, 4th down to 9th is all between 8 points or so right now. So
yeah, big swings can happen when you get points in double, back-to-back nights on the weekend. So, we can't get ahead of ourselves here. I think the only thing we can control is, being prepared for Friday night and going from there. But, I think the guys understand what's on the line here, and it's a fun time of the year to be going, and hopefully we can get ourselves going on a roll.
Yeah, well, a very big series coming back here to the Carlson Center, like I said, against the Bulldogs at Ferris State this weekend. Both games Friday and Saturday, 7:07 p.m. Alaska time. Jumping back in the Alaska time zone after several weeks outside of it, but it should be a great weekend of hockey here at the Carlson Center in Fairbanks. Back to WCHE action. Thanks for your time, Dallas, and go Nooks.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Britton.
Yep.